A little over 2 weeks after Super Bowl 46, and Lucas Oil Stadium is once again host to the NFL.
It is pretty cool. You know, I mean, it was pretty wild here for the Super Bowl, where the streets were filled, thousands upon thousands of people, and the energy was palpable in the streets and everywhere you went. And people were asking me, what's it like for the Combine? I'm like, well, you see all these streets that are filled, and there's zip lines going down Capitol Avenue, and for the Combine, there's 5 people on the street, and Dick LeBeau is in the Steak and Shake at 12:15 in the morning after a long night of interviews.
We need highlight music for Pink. 2, 1, and we're up.
Live at Lucas Oil Stadium 20 days after the Super Bowl.
That's what I love about this Combine event, is just seeing coaches that you normally see on the sidelines just doing homework just like everybody else. I mean, just 2.5 weeks ago in this building, Tom Coughlin was at the ultimate pinnacle, and now here he is checking out place kickers at the Combine. We're back to scratch.
Back to scratch and back to Indy. The Combine marks the start of the 2012 NFL season.
If you think about it, it has been 2 Sundays since the Super Bowl, and the fans are just jonesing for anything. And here comes the Combine, which is all about regenerating your team, what can be done to improve its lot.
With increasing interest in the NFL draft, the National Scouting Combine has grown in scope and significance.
I think this event, more than anything else we've done at NFL Network, has evolved just an incredible amount from what it was in 2005, my first year here. I don't know how many cameras we had, but I know for talent it was 2 people. It's grown into dozens of on-air talent, a lot more cameras, a lot more hours of coverage. People clearly want to see this, and our coverage has changed to reflect that.
Over a 4-day span, the NFL Network brings live coverage of the Combine into the homes of millions of viewers, documenting the journey of each draft prospect while providing an all-access look into an event closed off to the general public.
We have 22 cameras, and the crew grows every year. I would imagine right now we have over 200 people here as a crew, not only for NFL Network, but NFL.com. The fan just wants more and more and more, and we're trying to give it to them.
Not only are our ratings great, but more players are participating, which is what the competition committee wanted when they allowed our cameras in. So players are able to run a 40-yard dash, all their buddies are back home watching them, and except for the quarterback position, which you never know if they're going to throw or not, every other position by percentage is up with player participation. So this thing's blowing up, I can't even tell you how big.
And that's because the people want it. I mean, there's such a thirst and a demand for it that this time of year, and even before this time of year, during the season, people are, hey, I can't wait for the Combine. I hear comments all the time, can't wait to see such and such work out and run, and because many people at home evaluate the draft the same way that we do.
Although fans may try to emulate the experts, it's hard to match the time and dedication of the network team when it comes to this event.
Preparation starts back in July, when we start thinking about the prospects that we're going to be covering and how we want to cover them. Graphically, tape-wise, we start getting lists together very early.
It's whatever it takes to be prepared is what it comes down to. It's going to be a lot of hours.
I start in July, just like teams do, and I start watching my tape with 327 guys here, so it's the most preparation as far as memorizing numbers and statistics and all those other things, so that when Amini Silatolu from Midwestern State steps up, you got to know he's 323 pounds with 34.5-inch arms, or you don't know what you're talking about.
Keeping fans interested and informed has helped increase viewership by 78% since 2007.
I sort of equate the Combine to the Yule log. It's like this burning log in a fireplace where instead of Christmas carols, the background is sort of the hum of the lights of Lucas Oil Stadium, and you're watching it for hours upon hours and not realizing you've been watching it as long as you have.
Sustaining that burning log is what creates compelling coverage.
It's challenging. Definitely challenging. I mean, this year more than any, we have more talent. We are going to have talent on the field this year. We're going to have a side set. We're going to have a main set.
The majority of our coverage is going to be provided by the set up top with Rich and Mike and Charles. But once an hour, the plan is to come down here, give those guys a little bit of a rest, give the viewers a fresh take and some fresh voices.
So it's my job to kind of balance the show out over the course of over 30 hours of live television to get the best information on the screen. We want to tell stories, and I think the important thing to remember too is the viewer at home, for the most part, doesn't know a lot of these players. Yeah, they know they're Andrew Lucks and they're Robert Griffin III's, but there are a lot of people out there that we need to introduce the audience to as we continue our draft journey.
With many moving parts and pressure to meet viewer expectations, keeping a light atmosphere continues to be the key to 8 years of solid Combine programming.
There's a great camaraderie amongst this group. There's a core of us that have been working it for the last 4 or 5 years, and there's people who have been working on it for longer. But it's a strong team that we have here, and this is unlike any other event that we ever do. You enjoy the challenges of putting it together, but you also love the fact that we can tell stories about kids that are trying to start their careers as NFL players, which makes it pretty satisfying from my end.